Tower Defense Simulator has this mission quest system. Basically, by completing a series of objectives, you can earn some currency and an entirely exclusive skin. There are 7 different quests, but 3 don't really count. The prizes for Tech Tactician and Suppressing Fire can both be easily obtained from the Phantom Crate, and the Chance of Drizzle skin was obtainable from a crate prior to the update. The remaining 4 though are truly exclusive. You can only get them through these quests, and some of these objectives are truly brutal. The first one up is... I started with a mysterious drifter. By the way, I should note I started this like 2 months ago, which is why there are a few UI differences and things are a bit disorganized. Regardless, I bought into the contract and the first objective was to kill 1,000 enemies with the Ranger. This is slightly annoying since, Ranger shoots super slowly, but it's not too bad. At first I tried playing on a triple lane map, Infernal Abyss. I thought maybe 3 times the zombies, 3 times the kills. That didn't work out so well. I then just played the basic solo match, and to finish up the last percentage, I hopped on Mason Arch, the Wakia Colors map. With some casual gameplay, I was able to finish the objective by wave 32, and the quest immediately rolled over into the next segment. Deal 1,000,000 damage on the Badlands. Ah, Badlands, land of the free, home of the triple lane zombies with cowboy hats. This actually isn't very free at all, this is kinda tough. I teamed up with TDS admin Sir Corpo, aka Thatcher, and we attempted to demolish this quest. The first match we played didn't go so well. I made about 0.01% progress, but the follow-up run was just sublime. We got a ton of DPS towers down, and with Thatcher's exclusive war machine and mecha bases, it was light work. I made pretty much no progress on the quest for like the first 90% of the game, but the last couple of waves and the boss really helped fill that meter. After winning, Thatcher and I immediately hopped in a new match. Shout out to this guy, Freedy Fazbear. We melted the boss again and I came up just shy of completion, but like 2 nanomillimeters. So naturally, I took a 3-week break from the mission before coming back to finish strong. I got in a random queue Badlands match and was able to get the last bit of damage done by wave 18, where the mission rolled over into the final objective. Beat Badlands 3 times with Ranger. Thankfully, I already had the tower equipped, so by just playing the rest of the match out, I got the first win. I linked up with Thatcher again for the next match, and with his help, alongside some solid random matchmaking teammates, I got the second dub. I returned to solo queue for the third match, because there was like 2 weeks in between those games, and this was the first time where power-ups were available to use, and my teammate Lord Nubister took full advantage of that. It was tight, but that nuke helped us pull out the dub, and that win finally fulfilled the objective, a month and a half after I began it. I was able to claim the first exclusive skin, Badlands Ranger. It has unique animations, which are nice, and I do enjoy the simple cowboy aesthetic of the early levels, but I'm not as big of a fan of the final upgrade. Like, why do you lose his cowboy hat? Come on. The design is a reference to the NCR Veteran Ranger from the Fallout series. Thank you, TDS Wiki. Which is cool, but I'm just not a massive fan of the design, honestly. I'd rate it like a 6 out of 10. So, next quest. This one has 4 objectives. The first one is pretty simple though. You just have to deal 750k damage with the tower. The Accelerator is of course very strong, so this wasn't too bad. By just playing through 2 solo Fallen matches and letting Excel get the majority of the kills, I was able to knock this out by wave 37. The quest then rolled into just having 1 Accelerator deal 75,000 damage. So I sold a few of my towers to leave more enemies alive for this one here, so he could hog all the DPS. And I was able to get that done by wave 38, same game. The third objective was a lot tougher though. My package just arrived. Beat Hardcore with Accelerator twice. Which isn't great because Hardcore is the most frustrating, outdated, and annoying mode in the game. Luckily, there is a workaround. Triumphing any of the 3 special modes actually counts as a Hardcore win here for some reason. I chose to hop on Pizza Party because I love Garten of Banban, and also because it's the easiest special mode. The first run started pretty strong. We easily cleared these early game dream mask wearing zombies. I farmed and I was able to get my first Excel by wave 18. From there, it was smooth sailing. Except for this one shotgunner boss that almost killed us, but after that, it was smooth sailing. With Accelerators and Rangers, we chewed through the mode's final boss, Walks the Fox, and indeed, that counted as a Hardcore win. I love glitches, yes. I ran it back again, and this next run was even stronger. We leaked 1 scout boss early, but other than that, we had no trouble at all getting the win. So with that objective completed, it was now time to beat Polluted Wastelands with Accelerator twice. Hey, you know me, I love me some Polluted Wastelands gameplay. Admittedly, my first attempt went pretty well. The Amalgamation main boss in Wave 22 is the first main DPS check of Polluted. We got a bunch of accelerators down to deal with him. I was orating some gripping live commentary. Me when I see a skibidi toilet walking down my street. The boss was a little tough. I tried to use a Napalm Strike power up, but I kind of missed him. Still, accelerators cleaned up. And with as good a towers as we had, from there until wave 39 things were pretty easy. The final wave houses the nuclear monster, the tankiest, most chaotic boss in the game. It is quite hard to make out what is happening. We had so many DPS towers, so many power ups going, but the boss was still pushing far. Jenny dropped a nuke on the boss's head top, but even better than that, Bill and Didier pulled out the big guns. Bro used a grenade. That's gonna do like 3 damage. And with that, our victory was confirmed. We got him, let's go. GG. I immediately got into another random match to carry that momentum, and straight up, this run might have been the strongest Polluted Wastelands match I've ever had. We had the supports, we all brought Accelerator, 3 of us brought Engineer, and with the fire rate buff and damage buff flag power ups helping, holy moly, we're smoking this guy. The nuclear monster didn't really put up much of a fight at all, and we were able to take him out on the second loop. GG's! Quest completed. POV, you got called up to speak in front of the class. After that win, I was able to claim the Nuclear Accelerator skin. I like this one a lot. I love the level 0 appearance. I think the bright orange jumpsuit has a really nice contrast with the grey head and the power backpack with the funny caution tape. I don't think its later upgrades work as well. Level 5 just kind of feels like the normal Accelerator with the nuclear monster's head. But yeah, the skin has some cool history behind it too. It was originally called the Hazmat skin and was only obtainable for like less than a day, in a completely broken and unfinished state all the way back in 2020. So to see it completely remade almost 4 years later is pretty neat. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. This is the quest I was most excited about. The first objective was another basic deal blank amount of damage with a tower, in this case 100,000. So I made a loadout with a bunch of supports, focused around hyping up Shotgunner, and by playing a single molten match, I was able to pass the threshold easily. Shotgunner OP! Something very odd happened here though, like just look at the quest tracker. What? According to the TDS wiki, for the Shotgunner's second objective, killing literally any enemy in the game will count as killing the Molten Boss. So I was able to instantly defeat the Molten Boss 3 times. That led into the final objective, which was beating Infernal Abyss on Fallen Mode twice with the Shotgunner. As I said earlier, this map has 3 lanes, 3 times the zombies, and 7 times the suffering. Take this first match I played. Our early defense was shaky, to say the least. We were leaking like a busted faucet. I got some shotgunners, my teammates used some power-ups, a Moba's got an accelerator to carry our DPS. The run was just very scuffed. This guy of course has just placed his farms directly in all the prime real estate for the good DPS. Honestly, based. We were able to handle these weaker zombies like the skeleton necromancers easily, but trouble arose on wave 26. Red alert. Guys? I think the run's over. In the next match, my team actually got a pretty strong defense set up early. By wave 20, we had numerous hardcore towers down, and we were surviving. But as I was getting this bird's eye view of the map with free cam... Wait just a minute. Pause. Can we get a timeout there? I lost on the exact same wave again. Mamma mia! For this match, I changed my towers around a bit, and I farmed hard in the early game. We managed to take out the glitches, finally, and we also managed to beat the tanks on wave 30. Heading into the final couple of waves, things were looking good, until this necromancer boss leaked. But no worries, I got backup pursuit, we had rangers, we'll kill him. Nope. With 26 health remaining, the necromancer summoned at the exit and killed us with his spawns. My teammate Space typed this very nice message to me. I instantly quit the game without responding, and I called it for the day. And things did not get better from there, because for my next match, nothing loaded. Not my towers, not the UI, not the map. The game was completely unplayable. Schrodinger's TDS match. Subscribe if that was a very apt metaphor. The match I got into afterwards, thankfully loaded properly, but that pretty much sums that run up. The following run though, my teammates all had some pretty good towers, we survived the early game, I was able to farm enough to get some accelerators going, and we made it to the mid game. We had some major issues with breakers, wave 33 was very scary, I almost popped a blizzard bomb power up, but I decided to hold off. Wave 35 wasn't great either, and in wave 37 I had to make a call. Okay, I have this blizzard bomb prepped and ready if things look bad. Do things look bad? Alright, I'm using it. We might not have needed that, but I did not want to lose on 37 again. The falling waves were easy, and we reached the final boss. I actually felt pretty confident against the Fallen King, because only one of the final boss spawns, making wave 40 easier than a lot of the ones that precede it. Oh my god, finally. After 6 attempts, I have finally gotten this quest 50% completed. Let's go, woo! The next run was looking doomed. My teammates didn't have the strongest towers here, TNK didn't even have a full loadout, so our early game was poor, we leaked just about everything, but we clutched up with this quadruple barricade setup. Power-ups are actually OP. That took the heat off and let me get some accelerators down. Surprisingly enough, we actually made it to the mid-game. Wave 30 was sketchy. Alright, I think we definitely might have died there without that blizzard bomb, although the tanks might have gotten, but not what you love to see regardless. We had a lot of splash damage towers though, and the Wave 37 Necromancers weren't too scary. So, we made 40 again, and although with less total DPS here, the Fallen King did push further, we still took him out. Alright, we got him. Finally, this stupid Infernal Abyss quest is done. Thank you, Lord. The prize for this quest is the Slayer skin, an obvious reference to the Doom franchise. The model is somewhat basic, but I still love the design. The color scheme, the gun, the helmet, the animations, the shoulder-mounted mini turret, it all works very well. Like the Nuclear Accelerator, this is also a skin with an interesting history in TDS. It was released in 2020, it was made unobtainable in 2021, it was then neglected and bugged for the following 3 years, before it was finally remade in 2023 and made obtainable again in 2024, which I think is a pretty cool timeline for a pretty fun skin. I'd give this an 8 out of 10.
You're a robot?
Alright, this is the final mission quest, and it's definitely the least enjoyable. It is the same first objective as all the others. Deal some damage with the tower, lol. It helped a lot that I had the golden perk for Crook Boss, obviously it just makes it a lot stronger, and I was able to finish the objective in a single molten match, where the quest rolled over into the next objective. Triumph any map 5 times with the Crook Boss. I immediately got 1 win on the tally from that same molten match. I then tried playing just a quad-op falling game for fun, which wasn't fun at all and took ages, so I decided to try a different tact to speedrun this. TDS added these timescale tickets recently, which allow you to speed up or slow down solo matches. So I decided to try speedrunning easy mode with the game set to 2 times speed. I brought shotgunners for the regular zombies and gold mini for the final boss, and with that loadout I was able to consistently get 5-minute wins. So after only about 15-20 minutes, I was able to get the objective fully completed, meaning there's just one objective left. Beat the Space City map 3 times on full mode with Crook Boss. The Space City map sucks to play. There's not much good placement space, some areas are even deceptive and block your towers when they shouldn't. It still uses the old outdated enemy designs, the dual paths don't function correctly, and above all, it's just so slow. The zombies have to take a 30-minute commute to reach the center of the map. So I was really excited to get those 3 wins, woohoo! Game 1 was disastrous. Matchmaking put me with God, 508968, and 2 complete beginners with pretty lacking towers. My team defended early, and I farmed for a while before getting a golden crook to help. I got max DJ, I maxed all my farms, I spammed pursuits, and got ahead accelerators to bolster our DPS. We made the final wave, and it was looking good. The Fallen King spawned on the right track, and as he moved towards the center, our DPS started targeting him. My teammate Ghetto was like, "We finna win." I was not as confident. The path is sneakily short here. Your good towers don't get much time to attack. And with how many times he stunned the accelerators, and with me kinda forgetting about power-ups until it was too late, we lost. I blame Ghetto, he jinxed it. Next run, I didn't load in fast enough to get the right map, so I had to leave. I did get back on Space City for the following match. I swapped my towers around, I brought Excel and NG for the raw DPS, and I just tried to focus on my farming. I'll also mention that I was dealing with some massive lag in all of these runs. Placements and upgrades were delayed, zombies were occasionally just running backwards along the path or running straight through the towers. It made these rounds miserable. The Fallen King was tough, we didn't have a lot of DPS. Alright, I need to get a drink of water before I do this. Because my teammates took all the placement space up with militants and crook bosses and didn't sell them when I asked, so I couldn't fit the hardcore towers anywhere decent. But I'm fine with that because I'm a very mature person. The key difference was this time, I remembered to use my power-up flags earlier on, which helped us just barely take out the boss and preserve my sanity. The next run was a lot easier. 2 of my teammates had good towers, and the power-up flags helped us take the boss down a bit more comfortably. For the final run, the lag was at an all-time high. I struggled to even join a match. But matchmaking blessed me, and for the first time all day, put me with 3 high-level players. We were able to be very proactive and get a lot of frontal defense for both paths. And the Fallen King was a piece of cake. With that triumph, I finally finished this stupid objective, and I was able to claim the Cybernetic Crook Boss skin. His outfit feels kinda basic. I do like the geometric makeup of its head. The tower itself doesn't have a super dynamic design, it doesn't change much. However, what's cool about the skin is that the bodyguards Crook spawns in are replaced by these little robot dudes, which are definitely some of the best goons from any Crook skin. Don't. They also have a funny little bug with their hitboxes. They can actually move you along the path, which is cool. Still, the skin feels the most random of the 4. It doesn't have a lot of in-game history like the Slayer or Nuclear skins, and I don't believe it's a reference to an outside property like the Badlands Ranger. So even though I do like some parts of the design, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And that is every mission quest completed. Is it worth it to do these? I don't know. I mean, if you want, kind of, I guess. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss my next video, which will hopefully be a banger. Unless it takes so long to make that I release a different video first. In which case that wouldn't apply, but yeah. Thanks for watching. End of script.